So here's the compressor, and we'll kind of just go over the parts of it. Right here is the gauge that tells you how much pressure you're applying to the tool. This knob allows you to adjust the pressure. This gauge shows you how much pressure is in the tank, and the normal amount of pressure is about 135 pounds, I think. Once the tank gets below a certain amount, maybe 115 or 110, the compressor will come back on automatically. I'm going to try to give this to you with it already full, and if you're not doing a ton of nailing, you probably won't even need to worry about this refilling. This right here allows you to empty the tank, but don't worry about that. And then this is the on-off switch. So now it's off. So here are the parts of the gun. So we have this hose, which I don't know how long it is, but probably you won't need, it'll probably be big enough to. So here are the parts of the compressor. And so here is the trigger. This thing can shoot some serious nails. Here's where the hose is connected. Okay. And then here is where how you put the nails in. Okay. When you put the nails in, do not have the hose connected. Put another way, when you go to put nails in, disconnect the hose from the gun. Okay. Okay. I'm going to actually put the nails in the nail gun. Okay. And notice that I don't have the hose connected. You don't want the hose connected when you're dealing with the nails. Okay. So to get this in, we're gonna put that in the end here. There's a slot in the middle of this. We stick that in. Okay. And then we pull this back and get the nails, feed the nails up here, okay, behind this piece of metal, this piece of black metal here. And so that will fit right behind the nails and hold them in, okay. So this is being pressed tight against the front where the nail comes out, okay. Alright, so the next thing that we do, we've got the thing powered up. The next thing that we do is stick our hose on the gun, and so we'll take this little cover off, then stick the female end over the hose. Normally a person might put some oil in here. I've already oiled this. I used it recently, so you don't have to worry about that. And this will come completely full of pressure, and so you don't have to worry about even plugging it in, probably, depending on how much you use it. Okay. If you get to a point where the nails are not going in as far as they once were, then you might double check to make sure there's enough pressure in the tank, and that should be the pressure on the gauge that tells the amount of pressure that is being delivered to the tool. The smaller pressure gauge should be at least at whatever setting you originally set it at. Once you get your hose connected to the nail gun, you want to go up here and plug it in here, and you can hear air escaping as I do this. Pardon, this light is probably not doing much good. So now we have our hose connected. This is set right now at 50 pounds, so it's going to put 50 pounds pressure through to the nail gun, and we can see that this is all charged up. Okay, so here's the gun. You can see the red trigger. You can see where the nail comes out. Right here, you'll notice that there's a piece of rubber. This is where you have to have this press tight against the wood before you can pull the trigger, okay? So what you do is you line your nail up and then apply pressure to the gun until this is all the way pressed down, and then you pull on the trigger, okay? Okay, so here's a piece of 1x8 or something, and I'm going to attach it to this 2x4 and see what, just kind of give you a sense of how to set the pressure on this. So now I have this all set up here, and I don't have it too close to the edge. If you get it too close to the edge when you do this, it's just going to crack the wood. Okay, so that's like obviously not enough pressure. As I said, that's about 50 pounds. So that's not even close. I'm gonna go ahead and just move it up to about 65 pounds. So I'm turning this knob clockwise. As you can see, it just slowly raises up. And so we're at about, I think at about 65 pounds. Actually, we're just under 70, so let's go with that. So that nail actually went through enough to hold it together. Okay, that's much better. However, if you look at that, here's the nail. That might be recessed just a little bit. That's probably about right, 65 pounds. And so this is into 3/4 inch pine. Now the other thing I want to show you, there's already a crack here, but if I tried to place this nail too close to the edge, it's going to split the wood. So I'm going to deliberately place it near the end of the edge of it. This is like 1/4 inch from the end. Okay, it actually didn't crack it. One thing I wanted to mention is that if you let this run low on nails, maybe you only have maybe 5 or 10 nails in here, there's a possibility it can get jammed. And so I want to show you what to do under those circumstances. What you want to do is remove the nails. So to do that, you pull this back, and then you just move the nails back out of here. Which is kind of awkward to do here. To do that, you need to press down on this lever here, and that will allow this to come up so you can let the nails go by. So move that out of the back, then let this go back here. And so let's say these are jammed right here. What you would do is you want to pull this off, and this can be kind of hard to do, but just pull it forward like this, and then that pull allows you to pull this off, and you can remove the nails that are stuck in here. So that's what you would do if you got that jammed. Again, just make sure you don't have the hose hooked up. Alright, also, you know, if you have any problems, let me know, and I'd be glad to help. Alright, enjoy using this crazy dangerous tool.